It is Wizard with a Gun Day! Look at him. So excited, so innocent, so naive. He and many others think this game is going to be just like Don't Starve. He loves Don't Starve. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's MagicNotIncluded, and today we're going to be talking about Wizard with a Gun. It's a brand new game that just came out recently. I was pretty excited for it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. We're going to kind of get into the reasons why. But first off, the pacing. The pacing feels a little bit slow. So there aren't that many objectives early on. Everything's basically like, hey, run here, get this gear. Run over here and get this gear. And then you go back to the tower and then you put the gears into the wheel. And then you do it again, which is fine, but it gets a little bit repetitive. But basically, yeah, every objective was just go get more gears. There was also like go kill the Mechantress, which was a boss. So you do that and you do get to progress a little bit further to the next area, which is cool. But yeah, the pacing just felt a little bit off at the beginning of the game. Scanning things is slow, like incredibly slow. Too slow. Like look at it. Like scanning is really slow. At the beginning of the game, you'll be fine with it. Probably not going to bother you too much, but as you progress and you have to keep scanning things, and especially if you scan things while in combat, it seems to take an eternity. Finally, we're done. So yeah, it just feels really bad to try to scan something that's moving really quickly away from you, and you can only kind of creep forward with your little book. It's a little clunky. Or if something's trying to attack you, getting hit interrupts the scan. Since the scan takes so long, you have to try like 50 times, and you got to time it just right sometimes, and it's... Yeah, it's a little frustrating there. I think if they could scale back some of the time that it takes to actually finish scanning, that would be really helpful. Yeah. Or at least let you like move a tiny bit faster during it. Even if it's just like a little bit, like 5–10% faster, that would make the difference. It would still take some skill to where you have to dodge some things or time things just right, but you have a little bit of wiggle room. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. It helps me out a ton and I really appreciate it. So we do have some good things, of course, too. I think the game runs smoothly. I haven't had any issues with crashes, any bugs, or nothing. It's been great to play. It's very fluid. So another thing I don't love about the game is you have to run back to the portal after every run, which is fine, but sometimes you're really far away from it, which I understand it's important to plan around these kinds of things. However, your character moves kind of slow, and it felt like a chore sometimes. Even when I had to pop a speed potion, which I think increases your speed by like 15%, it still felt like it was kind of slow. It almost seemed like that should be your base speed. But yeah, I'd like to overall see the base speed improved, or maybe even add like a way to teleport back to the portal, maybe via like a potion that you can craft, and maybe even make the potion fairly expensive and take a lot of resources to craft so you're not just spamming it and using it every single time. Maybe even make it to where you have to stand still to channel it. I don't know, just suggestions, but allow some way to get back to the portal even quicker. And there might be something later on in the game that has that. I'm not far enough into it to know for sure. This is just my initial thoughts. But yeah, at least early on, having to run back to the portal every 5, 8, 12 minutes if you get some extensions, it just kind of feels a little bit monotonous. Plus another thing is just because the timer's up, you're just like, well, time to run back now. There's not really like a big challenge with the whole end of the world thing. There might be if you stick around for like a long time and explore, but by that time my inventory is already full, which leads me into my next point, inventory management. It seems like the inventory is a little small, or there's like a lot of different materials that you get, which is great. We love materials. We love acquiring loot. I empty my inventory completely before I go on a run. And by the end of the run, almost every single time I am full, completely full. And it feels bad when you beat an elite and he drops some new items that you haven't gotten before, but it feels bad to have to do like inventory management, especially with the countdown going. I know there are different backpack upgrades, and those will be extremely welcome when I do get them. However, I think the base backpack size should be a little bit bigger, and maybe even the base chest size should be a little bit larger when you're storing things. It just feels like it could be a little bit more of a seamless experience that way. And I might sound too casual, I don't know. Just kind of how it felt in the first few hours at least. Base building. So you have this area called the tower, which you can put some structures down. You can have your furnace, you have your loading bench, a couple different crafting stations. But a lot of that stuff, like the different research stations for the different bullets, it doesn't feel necessary. It just feels optional. Like, oh, if I want to get fear bullets, I can. If I want to upgrade poison, I can, or you can just spec into something else entirely, which is cool, but it would be nice if it felt like you needed to do more things versus you just had the option to do more things, in my opinion anyway. And I understand the game's early, so there's not like a ton of options right now, but I feel like there could be more structures you could build, different types of crafting stations for maybe armor and other things like that, or at least a way to see that there is going to be that kind of stuff later. Because like I said, I'm not way into the game right now. I don't know for sure. Maybe there's a good bit more later on, but at least tease the idea of it earlier on, because I think you might be losing some people if you don't. I do love the art style too. Aesthetically, it does look like Don't Starve meets Cult of the Lamb, but it does not play like either of those games. It's not as fleshed out. I know Don't Starve has been around for like a decade now or so they've had a lot of time to add things to it, and I hope this game is like that, where they're going to continue adding things in the future and really fleshing it out. The music is great. The soundtrack is awesome, very pleasing to listen to. So there are a lot of bullet upgrades. There's a good bit of variety in that regard. They seem pretty impactful, cool to mess with. And so far, out of everything I've tried, I enjoy Frost. I like freezing things and then shattering them. It just seems pretty cool. I did, however, get a lightning gun. I'm going to probably lean more into lightning because zapping things was awesome. Something else that I really liked is that they have the developer roadmap on the home screen. So if you come over here to this little map icon, click on that, and then it shows you the roadmap. So currently there's no actual timeline, but as they keep making progress, they should put expected release dates for future updates, which is really nice, really welcome. Overall, I've had fun with the beginning of the game, even though it seems a little bit tedious or monotonous at first, and it's not as polished as I'd like it to be. I think there's a lot of potential with the game. I just like to see the developers take some of the initial feedback they're getting from the community and keep improving the game, making it a lot more enjoyable, a lot smoother, adding a lot more content to the game, making it feel more like Don't Starve. If you're buying this because it looks like Don't Starve, it doesn't really play like Don't Starve at all. The similarities are you can craft some things, the art style, and the camera angle, and that's kind of about where it ends. The base building's not nearly the same. Don't Starve makes it feel like your base is like extremely important to survive, whereas a lot of the things for Wizard with a Gun seem a little more optional. So if you're expecting Don't Starve, don't. If you're on the fence about it, I'd say give it a try. I still think it's a good time, and I think they are going to just improve it as time goes on, or at least I'm hopeful for that. That's how it seems. Don't hold me to that, though. So what are your thoughts on Wizard with a Gun? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.